I'm very, very privileged today to be here with Jerry Jampolsky. Jerry, thank you so much for joining me and taking time out of your day. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Jerry Jampolsky. I'm a physician, psychiatrist, specializes in adult and children's work, and I founded Attitudinal healing back in 1975, and my focus has been on that since 1975, helping people heal their own minds rather than trying to change other people's attitudes, learn how to choose their own.
That's great. And for anyone that doesn't know what attitudinal healing is, could you give us an example of how it works? And how did you discover it?
Well, I was a student of A Course in Miracles, and this was a metaphysical, spiritual way of looking at the world. And from that experience, I wanted to apply it in a more practical way, which I call practical spirituality. And so I began, if you will, healing my own negative thinking and guilt and things of that sort. And then began finding that other people wanted to learn that too. So that's how it all started.
Nice. Well, it's always good to start with yourself. So what was happening in your life at the time that made you want to do this? What was the straw that broke the camel's back that thought there's got to be another way?
Well, I was having a lot of problems with relationships. I had just gone through a divorce, a 20-year marriage, became an alcoholic. I was sort of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, one person in my office, one person outside the office. And I wasn't feeling any peace. I was feeling lots of guilt, lots of anger, lots of depression.
Yeah, I think that's very common. I mean, from my background in the medical setting, I think a lot of practitioners, nurses and doctors are giving out advice that they're obviously not taking. And what's your slant on that?
Could you ask that question again? I didn't understand it.
Well, there's a lot of my experience is that there's a lot of doctors and practitioners that are giving out advice that they're not necessarily taking themselves. What's your slant on that? Should we be living up to all of the advice that we give, or is it okay to have this dual lifestyle?
Well, I do my best not to give advice, number one. I think there's a wonderful teacher inside of our heart. If we listen to our heart, that will tell us what we should be doing. And I spend a lot of time healing myself, not other people.
Yeah.
I'm a door opener, but I don't push or pull people through the door.
Nice. I like that approach. So is it more about finding the right balance in life? Would that be the key?
Well, that would be one of the things, but to be able to live a life where you're not giving judgments on people and not condemning yourself.
That's
not seeing so much value in hate and anger, but seeing value in love and forgiveness.
How do you make that transition, though? I mean, for people who do struggle with relationships, with being angry, who are perceiving that somebody's done something so terrible to them that they can't possibly imagine forgiving them. I mean, what are the first steps for somebody in that space?
To believe that nothing's impossible. To believe you don't have to be a victim. To believe that love is the answer to any problem you have ever experienced or experiencing now or in the future. And be vigilant about practicing unconditional love, and be vigilant about making forgiveness as important as breathing, and to learn to laugh a lot more.
Yeah. I think the laughter one is, well, I think all of them are great, but the laughter one has particular resonance at this end, I have to be telling you, Jerry. How important is laughter and fun in the whole loving process?
That wasn't clear for me. Can you repeat that?
How important is laughter and having fun in the process of forgiveness, of finding love, of being in that space of self-empowerment?
Well, it's extremely important because when you realize that many of the things that we're upset about are illusions, if you will, they're not reality, and that there's another way of looking at reality, and you naturally will laugh a lot more, and you'll not take yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
You'll learn to count your smile wrinkles rather than your aging wrinkles.
I like that analogy.
I'm going to be 88 in February.
Wow.
And I see myself as ageless because I think my spirit is ageless. So I feel that I laugh a lot. I don't take myself so seriously. And not trying to change people. If you're not trying to change people, that makes you a lot more happy.
Well, you're looking good, Jerry.
Thank you. So are you.
Thank you. When you talk about this stuff, I mean, when you're working with clients, I'd imagine you see some pretty big shifts. What's one of the stories off the top of your head that springs to mind now of working with someone who's had really difficult problems, who's had a really profound shift really fast?
Well, I do my best to listen with love.
What does that mean, Jerry? How do you do that?
I make up my mind every morning that I'm not going to judge people.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to condemn myself. I see one of our principles, we have 12 principles of attitudinal healing. Our website is ahinternational.org, and on that people can find the 12 principles and other things we do. We create a lot of groups, if you will. We call them attitudinal healing groups. And they're groups where people come together to practice love and unconditional love and forgiveness. And so we create an atmosphere of love where self-healing can take place.
That's great. What are the 12 principles?
Well, I'm not going to be able to tell you what 12 principles are. I don't remember what I had for dinner last night.
I like your style, Jerry. That's fair enough.
But the first principle is the essence of our being is love.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It means that we're really spiritual beings, that we're spirit, not a body. Some of the other principles are forgiveness is the key to happiness, which comes, the principles actually come from the Course in Miracles. Are you familiar with the Course in Miracles, by the way?
Yeah, well, I've been finding more about it increasingly. I haven't read it myself, but yeah. I'm certainly coming across it increasingly now.
Well, it may not be your cup of tea, but it's changed my life, and my wife and I continue to make that primary focus on how we live our lives.
Well, that's good. That's good enough for me. That's quite an endorsement for the Course of Miracles. Can you think of a story off the top of your head of working with a client, of how you work and how they shifted?
Well, I think of a person a dear friend that I hadn't seen for a long time. And she had 2 children, young children, and she was terribly upset with her husband and decided that she wanted to get a divorce. And she called me just to tell me that. And I said, well, you're the only one that can decide that. But, you might want to, for 1 week, not interpret your husband's behavior and make a judgment. And just look at him as if he was a light being, not a body with personality problems, but just see him as light. To make your life no judgments. And then call me back in a week. And she called me back in a week and said, gosh, Jerry, my husband sure changed a lot this last week. Then she laughed and said, I know it was me that changed. I changed my attitude, and things began to change how I looked at the world. So wow. I'm really excited a lot of forgiving to do to myself as well as them.
Yeah. So is it the case that everybody enters our life to show us something about what's going on inside our bodies, and our ability to look inwards is the key? Is that what it's all about?
Absolutely. Seeing that what we see out there is a projection of something in ourselves.
Yeah. So on that basis, everybody is love, even the people who give us the biggest challenges.
Yeah, some of the people who give us the biggest challenges are the biggest teachers of forgiveness.
So is that the key? Is it all about forgiveness? Is that why we're here, do you think?
I think we're here to be messengers of love and light, to help take the darkness away from the world.
Yeah.
And I don't think people change very much by people giving each other advice. But I do think they change when they begin to see themselves changing, when they make peace of mind their only goal.
Yeah.
When they make forgiveness their only function. And I'm extremely impressed by the courage that many people have to do to let go of what they look before as horrible things that have happened to me by my mother, by my father, or someone else, and to let go of the past. Forgiveness really means totally letting go of the past.
Yeah.
And when you do that, then you're back in the present, where our Creator is, and you're at one with all the world. You can become one with all of life. Life becomes more of a bowl of cherries.
Yeah. So how do you, for people that don't know what love is, how would you describe it?
Well, I would say it's not something that can be really defined, but it's something that can be experienced. And for me, love is when you're experiencing total acceptance of the other person. You're not making any kind of adjustment. You're choosing not to see the body and the personality and all the other kinds of stuff of the ego, but choosing to only focus on the light of another person. I wrote a one-liner that I use for myself. So I say, Adam, your light is all that I see, and it's but a reflection of the light in me.
I love that.
If I would choose to concentrate on that, I'm only going to share my love for you, my acceptance. And I'm not going to be a false fighter, I'm going to be a love fighter.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That really does work. So it really is the ability to listen with no judgment and just to see the positive in everybody.
But what's difficult, I think, is for people to really listen with love. When you meet a new person, 99% of people will make a judgment, interpret, say, I like this guy, or I don't like this guy, or what have you. You got a story, so I'll give you a story. Maybe 25 years ago, I was asked to go to a large cocktail party, which I really didn't want to go. And so I decided not to go, and it got my heart that I'm really supposed to show up. So I decided to show up, and I saw an empty couch. So I sat in that couch, and all of a sudden another guy sat in the couch, and we had an amazing, deep conversation about all kinds of things in life, although we never had introduced each other to it. The hostess came by and said, "Oh, I'm so glad you found each other. You have introduced yourself to each other." And we said, "Well, actually, we didn't." And she introduced me as a famous psychiatrist in California. And he stood up and said, "I hate psychiatrists." And he was introduced to me as Byron Janis, a very famous musician, pianist, Gary Cooper's actor. He's an actor and daughter. And if I knew who he was, I liked music, but I'm not an authority on it. I might have made the conversation very short and left and gone someplace else.
Yeah.
So we both learned a lot that day about the importance of not making a judgment.
Yeah.
And based on what the person does or his past background or what have you.
That's incredible. I think this the whole no judgment theme is huge, really, isn't it? Because I think most people, most of the time, are judging on one level or another, judging things around us.
Yes, you listen to TV and listen to radio and newspapers, and all of a sudden you're making terrible judgments about this person or that person is starting war, or politicians, or what have you. So everyone is there for us to take another look at and say there's another way of looking at the world.
Yeah.
And when you see something that's not eternal, you know it's not the truth.
Yeah. So is there a way of tuning in and knowing what is real and what isn't?
I think that's very important to ask yourself the question. Because everything you look at with your eyes, or I look at my eyes, it's going to come back to my ego about a judgment of some kind.
Yeah.
But if I look, have a lens of love in my eyes and lens of love in my ears, I'm going to react to the love that's in that person, which is the real part of that person, rather than this costume that we seem to wear as we come into this world.
Yeah. So do you think most people do wear a mask to a certain degree?
No. I think we all do.
Yeah.
my father-in-law, who's deceased now, was a top pilot for TWA.
Yeah.
And he's a very strong guy, controlling, bright, what have you. And he got cancer. He was dying of cancer, and he came to one of our support groups at our center. And after one of the sessions, he came to myself and my wife, Diane, and said, you know, this is the first time that I've ever taken off my mask and shared who I was. And he shared his fear, he shared what was happening outside, he cried a lot. And people listened to him, they didn't judge him, they just loved him. And he said, I'm beginning to understand what this attitude of healing is all about.
Yeah.
It's about learning to be transparent,
yeah.
learning to be real, not wear masks. And so that's a pretty good example, I think, of a person who really understood what that was, that we do tend to wear masks.
Yeah.
To impress other people or what have you, control other people. So part of our work is letting go of our control issues.
Yeah. Well, I think facing death is a really good way of doing that. I mean, probably not the optimal way, but it certainly gets people looking at things differently, from my experience.
Well, I think our fear of death is our biggest fear, really.
Yeah.
Fear of a higher power, fear of God, all those kinds of things add up.
Well, what's your experience of working with people who were about to die? How do you facilitate that particular process?
I realize that what I say is relatively unimportant, but what energy I have in bringing about a peaceful situation for that person to be, which means I might hold that person's hand for an hour, and neither of us might say a word. Yeah. But there'd be an abundance of love and acceptance in that experience, in terms of being friends with each other, loving friends.
Yeah, I think that's very true from my experience as well. So it's more the state that you're in, the energy you bring into that room. People are obviously more receptive to it when they've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, even though they've been a close friend, will stop, won't visit that person in the hospital because they're too scared to say that could happen to me. So fear oftentimes keeps people away, although it might look like rejection for the person who's suffering from cancer and dying. Yeah. So we have support groups and attitude healing around the world in many countries, and we have it in Ghana, West Africa, and Nigeria. We have it in Japan. We have it in Argentina. We have 23 different cities that have groups in Mexico. But they're all based on the same principles.
Yeah.
Principles of having inner peace as your only goal, forgiveness is your only function.
Yeah. What are your slants on what the real cause of cancer is, or maybe heart disease?
I don't have any, I don't consider myself an expert in what causes diseases. I do feel I have some expertise in helping people realize that having inner peace is another way of looking at health. Like health can be considered inner peace.
Yeah.
So healing is letting go of fear. So it has more to do with our spirit than it has to do with our body. It has to do with changing our belief system.
Yeah. That's a fair point. And what's your slant on soulmates, Jerry? Do we all have a soulmate? And what's the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame? Do they exist? And how do we know? Lots of questions there in that one.
Well, for me, I can only speak personally. Soulmate, for me, is someone that's going to be in my life forever. Someone who's there to walk the journey of life with me as we learn to celebrate our spirit and our eternalness and our love, and to create a safe environment for each other, so that even when one walks off the pathway, one is feeling a sense of forgiveness from the other person. So it's love from the highest form, unconditional love. That's eternal, never ending. That's how I would look at it. Although I don't use that terminology very much.
Yeah. So is a soulmate, it's not necessarily a life partner, it could be a very good friend as well, could it?
Absolutely.
So we've probably got lots of soulmates, potentially.
I feel I do. We've been working for 25, since 1975, with people who are dying, and everyone that has died and left their body has been very close to me, and still is.
Yeah.
I feel that you don't need bodies to communicate, and I feel when I meditate, ask for help, and they're there with me.
Yeah. It sounds like your beliefs, your attitude, Jerry, is very liberating. Is that what people find working with you?
I feel that I'm inspired by a higher power. I'm inspired by wanting to be in a consciousness of helping others rather than what I'm getting from them. I find that if I'm inspiring myself, then that's inspiring to other people, and then they're able to inspire themselves, if you will, in this way.
Yeah.
And we tend to see a light in other people.
Yeah, I like that. So, I mean, with this model of the world, I mean, life does become easier, or does it? Does it become more challenging as you go down this path, or does it get easier?
Well, our work is choosing peace rather than conflict. Well, by that very statement,
yeah.
we're living a less conflictual life because our belief system has changed.
Yeah.
It's not that we're trying to get as much as we want, as the ego would like, but to do our best to get as much as we want, and to know that when we get, it's the same thing as receiving. Yeah. So the more we're giving, the more we're receiving. I would use that kind of terminology.
Yeah. So the key is to give, to be there to give to others.
Absolutely.
And how does that interact with giving to ourselves? I mean, is giving to others, because I know a lot of people that do give to others at the expense of themselves. How do you balance that?
What do you mean expense?
No, I've just seen a lot of people that I worked with as a nurse who've been caring for a partner, and their energy is low, although on the surface they've been doing a lot for everybody else around them. How do you balance that dynamic? How do you you give in a way that energizes yourself?
By not judging, not condemning yourself, not saying you're not giving enough,
Yeah.
and not giving your power to other people to decide whether you're hurting yourself or whether you're not hurting yourself.
Right. So when this comes to various habits that people have, let's say people who drink or maybe smoke or don't eat the healthiest diet, is that in of itself a problem, or is it the judgment that goes with it? Or both, possibly?
Well, I think it's both.
Yeah. In equal proportion, or is the judgment greater than the habit itself?
And during my alcoholic days, Adam, there might be a period of time where I stopped drinking, and then all of a sudden I started to drink again. And it's a pretty, a lot of alcoholics do that because they're afraid of innocence, they're afraid of love. It's a way of pushing people away. I continue to drink. They'll say, well, they didn't really love me anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. That
So
makes sense.
it's all about our internal mind. It's all about believing that all minds are joined in one. That there's no separation. I guess another way of looking at our work is that it's a way of healing the illusion of separation.
Yeah.
Feeling that we're one with all animals, with everyone that's in prison. We're one with everyone. And not seeing the identity of people as their body and their personality, but as a light being, a formless light being.
Yeah.
And Don and I created a few years ago, I'll start out by saying we all have to do this. And Don and I have a lot of energy, so our to do list is bigger than most do. But of course, we never finish it.
Yeah.
Then we start to condemn ourselves about that. And one day, my meditation, I got that, rather than doing your to-do list, you ought to start the day with your to-be list and celebrate your being. And these are some of the things in our to-be list.
Mm.
I'm guiltless. I am sinless. I'm judgeless. I'm one with all that is life. I'm spirit, not a body. I'm formless. I'm limitless. We're talking about our mind. I'm ageless. I'm fearless. And I'm timeless. Meaning we're living in this instant as if it's the only time there is. Not tomorrow, not the next minute, not yesterday. I'm happiness. It's a decision to be happy. It's really our natural inheritance. I'm peaceful. I'm kindness. I'm tenderness. I'm grateful. I'm generous. I'm graceful. I am unmeasurable. One of the things that gets us in so much trouble is the amount of measuring we do of ourselves and other people in terms of judgment. And we stop using our measuring sticks.
Yeah.
And just remind ourselves that when we give love to another person, that we receive it. It's not a time, there's no time difference. Giving and receiving are the same.
Yeah.
It's all just one spirit joined with each other. We like to think that we're in two emotions. That either another person is loving to us, or even if they look angry, we say that they're fearful of doing this called helpful love. So rather than interpreting and becoming defensive about something going on, we turn it around and say, well, this is a teacher of mine can see life differently.
Yeah.
Not being defensive, but say his love and give him love. It's just his natural state, even though that person might not realize that. And again, it's not no goal to change the other person. But when a person really lives for having inner peace as their only goal, and feel the healing mind, conflict, letting go of fear, things get simplified. Simplicity is difficult for a confused mind to understand. Only the ego would make us feel confused.
Yeah. I think there's some very good distinctions there, Jerry. And for me, the one that really sprung out is that the measuring of love, that feeling if you have to if you give love to one person, then if it doesn't come back, then it hasn't been received. But what you're saying is the action of giving love to a person, whether they are able to give anything back or not, is in excel. It's getting as much as it is giving.
And it's only the ego, you know. Someone, you ask someone over for dinner 3 different times, and that person never asks you over. The ego would want you to say, "I'm not going to ask that person over again."
Yeah.
But your spirit would not use that measurement.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make any difference.
So I guess that's why a Christmas carol.
Love is not a trade, and it's not a bargain. That makes sense, Kim?
Yeah. Well, it sort of made me, with all the festive stuff that's just happened, the story of Christmas Carol, I think, has increasing relevance. There's so many little interactions within that, especially the nephew that keeps asking Scrooge to lunch all of the years and always says no. It's, yeah, it does make sense that there's a much deeper level play at work in a lot of things that representing Christmas for us. So yes, I like the idea. So from taking and enjoying the principle, liking the idea, how do you start to integrate that into your life? I mean, what steps can people who are watching this video do right now to start to experience this, what you're talking about?
Well, I think one of the first things one can do is believe that nothing's impossible, that it is possible when you feel peace of mind, and to start the day and recognize that there's no saying that I like doing to myself. A busy mind is a sick mind, a slow mind is a healthy mind, and a still mind is a spiritual mind. If we begin to spend time retraining our mind to enjoy the oneness of our environment, the oneness of nature, if we spend time committing ourselves to see no value in feeling guilt, to know that guilt and love cannot coexist, if we start the day by saying, I'm going to commit myself to have no thoughts or actions that will be hurtful to other people or to myself, that's a great start to the day.
Yeah.
And not to feel guilty when you forget to do that.
So it goes back to judgment again, and not judging anything, and just seeing everybody as a perfect and a light being.
Especially yourself, because that means you're looking past the body.
Yeah.
You're not looking at the body and the personality. So you're looking at the true reality that's always there.
Yeah.
Our spiritual self.
Now, I'm sure you've had many, many profound teachers, Jerry, but who stands out when I ask the question? Who's been the biggest influence on you, on your journey? Or one of the biggest influences?
That's kind of a comparison to other people. I like being the person I'm with, the most important person.
Yeah.
The most important teacher. I've been blessed by my spending time with Mother Teresa, and spend time with the Dalai Lama and His Holiness and the nationwide TV women, the children. But in reality, who I'm with is my biggest teacher.
Yeah. So again, that's about being here in the here and now, and not in the past or the future.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Now you set up attitudinal healing. What is that, and how would people find out more about it who are interested?
Well, if they come to our website, ahinternal.org, they'll see quite a bit about attitude healing. There's a marketplace with a number of books, like Love is Letting Go of Fear, Teach Only Love, Goodbye Guilt, Out of Darkness into the Light, Change Your Mind, Change Your Life, Love is the Answer, An In-Course for Life. And for young people who may not want to read a spiritual book, I wrote a book called The Oh Shit Factor, Waste Management for Our Minds.
I saw that. I wanted to ask you about that one, Jerry.
It turns out to be a very spiritual book. Many persons are using it. And, but I wanted a language where people wouldn't normally read a book.
Yeah.
Can relate to that. Because who alive has not said, oh shit.
Yeah.
And his mother was very upset when I was writing this book. And about 2 months later, she said to me, you know, I have to be honest with you. I say oh shit quite a bit. She's 92.
Yeah.
Well, get involved in that.
So that's really, I mean, it sounds like a fun title. Did you have fun writing that?
I did.
And is it pretty much the same principles?
It is. It just is in different language.
Yeah.
Like, do we want to put all our anger and all our hate in our minds?
Yeah.
Or can we think of what we put in our minds as the negative things we put in our minds and think is a sin? And if you keep doing that, you know, you get diarrhea of the mouth. And all kinds of things can happen to you. So a lot of people really relate to that. Well, they might not to another kind of.
Yeah. I love it already. It's it sounds like a lot of fun, Jerry. Did you have a lot of fun writing it?
Yeah, you're not coming through it. You're static. I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry, Jerry. I'll speak a bit louder. It sounds like the old shit factor is a lot of fun. Did you have a lot of fun writing it?
I did. Yeah. Well, during World War II, which kind of tells you about my age. I was born in 1945. I ended up in the Navy, and I was a corpsman, and my duty was to give enemas and clean out the toilets. And a civilian friend of mine asked me how I felt about the Navy, and I said, gosh, I got the shittiest job in the whole Navy. I'm dealing with shit all day. And then about 3 months later, I got moved to the laboratory, and I was assistant to the guy who examined every feces that everybody that came in there that had their feces examined. So that's what I was doing, and all of a sudden he got changed to another hospital, and I was called the head shit man. And I didn't think that was very dignified. So I said, well, I'm going to change this. This is going to be the Department of Shitology. It sounds more scientific. So I considered myself an expert on shit since I had so much experience. My nose was in it for so long. So I felt very entitled to write a book on that, and putting humor in it to allow people to even, when you're dealing with humor, you can take something new in that you might not have taken in before.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree with that. It's a wonderful way of doing it. So do you do? I'm guessing just by this interaction that your workshops are quite light-hearted. Would that be the case?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again?
I'm just guessing by the energy of this conversation, Jerry, that your workshops and talks are quite light-hearted. Would that be the case?
It's static there. The workshops are what?
Are they? I'm guessing that they're quite light-hearted.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're very serious and deep.
Yeah. One
can do both.
And I'm guessing that balance is the key to getting the message across and also internalizing it.
Yeah. Diane, my wife, has been working with me since 1981, and so one of the things they learn, I think, in a non-verbal way, is that we have an equal relationship.
Yeah.
And that's another principle of attitude. Everyone's an equal teacher-student to each other. So we take it out of the vertical way, we take it out of the authority way, and bring about equality. So I'm working with children. They don't call me Dr. Jampolsky. I ask them to call me Jerry, making it equal.
Yeah.
As you and I are equal in terms of Adam and Jerry.
Yeah. I think that it's a great way of being, especially having witnessed doctors in the medical setting. I think that there is that divide, that almost that pedestal that can sometimes create challenges in the healing cycle. What are your views on traditional medicine?
See, the very question raises the possibility that I might make a judgment on that. So I would respond differently to you and say that it's amazing the advances that we've made here in the United States in the practice of medicine.
Yeah.
I do feel that it's possible to have more compassion, to not be in so much of a hurry, because you're in a hurry because if you're going to make a lot of money, you have to do that in terms of seeing so many patients. And I think something different happens when you practice medicine with your heart.
Yeah.
That has a whole different kind of communication. Because then people go away saying, you know, my doctor really listens to me.
Yeah.
He's not thinking someplace else. He's focusing on me.
Yeah.
More and more so, I think doctors and people in the healing profession are doing that. Yeah. So I'm going to say, how about one more question, and then we'll conclude.
Well, that sounds great. I was about to do that anyway, Jerry. And just say, is there anything that you'd like to say before we conclude this, just to wrap this up?
Well, I'd like to thank you for the work that you're doing and the people that you're interviewing to get more information out, so where people can learn more about a different way of looking at the world, a different way of looking at health, and helping people take more responsibility for their health, whether it's nutritional or whether it's spiritual or emotional, and to recognize that our thoughts do create our reality, and I appreciate your doing this, and I wish you well on your journey.
Thank you so much, Jerry. I really appreciate your time here today and for sharing your message with our audience, and I'm very grateful for it.
Thank you, and blessings to all your listeners, and it's wonderful being here.
Thanks, Jerry. That's brilliant. Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you.
Just one more question for you. On behalf of the Global Love Project, Jerry, do you think there's anybody that I should ask to interview that would really add a lot of value to the community?
My son, Dr. Lee Jampolsky, send me your email and I'll send you how to contact him if you like. He's a psychologist and he's authority on addictions, written a number of books, one's T29. If you would like a copy of the Old Shit Factor, tell me where to mail it to and send you a gift.
Oh, Jerry, thank you.
I'd be glad to do that. Okay. I'm going to say bye to
Very kind. Thanks, Jerry. Really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
Okay, we'll do.